Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/scriptnoteshow, that's all one word, scriptnoteshow, and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs, download a title free, and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/scriptnoteshow. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Script Note Show. I'm your host, Matt Tillman. Hopefully this episode finds you all out there doing well and continuing to survive through winter. It seems like it's just been a constant barrage in some places, especially here in the Midwest. So hopefully everyone is hanging in there, and we'll hopefully see spring soon, along with the sounds of baseball and spring training ramping up, and then we'll be right back at it. So with today's episode, I just kind of wanted to talk about an article I posted to the blog recently that is kind of disconcerting in some ways. Bankrate recently did a survey that found that 3 in 10 Americans have more credit card debt than emergency savings. So lots of us wind up asking ourselves, do we save or do we pay off debt? So, the answer should be pretty obvious, but given what that survey said, it shows that a lot of Americans are struggling with this type of decision quite frequently. From Bankrate, it says that the survey of 1,004 adults finds that only 44% of households have more money in emergency savings than the amount they owe in credit card debt. That's down from 58% last year and the lowest amount in Bankrate's 9 years of conducting the survey. Results trend negatively from the other side as well. 29% of those surveyed reported having more credit card debt than emergency savings, which is an increase from last year's 21% and the highest in 9 years. So with that, we kind of want to ask ourselves, could this be a sign of things to come? The sharp deterioration in the relationship between credit card debt and emergency savings, with an increasing number of households having more credit card debt than emergency savings and a decline in those with more emergency savings than credit card debt, is an ominous indicator of the financial health among American households, according to Greg McBride, who's the CFA Chief Financial Analyst at Bankrate. And because of this, many Americans are starting to show more signs of financial trouble in terms of their financial priorities. And so it doesn't look like the tides will probably changing anytime soon either. Of the 43% of those surveyed said that they were actually focused on boosting their emergency savings this year, which is down from 53% last year. And many don't even see building an emergency fund as their priority. Even more worrisome is that another Bankrate survey found that only 40% of people could actually cover an emergency expense of $1,000 or more with savings. And the percentage of Americans that are prioritizing that has declined on a year-over-year basis. So what's leading to this additional cause for concern is that with lingering market uncertainty and forecasters predicting an upcoming economic slowdown, this decision can be detrimental to Americans' financial health. So being able to have not only a savings cushion and smaller debt balance could help make a huge difference when facing the effects of an economic downturn, such as a potential job layoff. So with that, there really is no time like the present. Regardless if you happen to prioritize one over the other, the worst thing that anybody could do is not take any action. So the time really is now for decreasing your debt and increasing your savings at the same time. Consumers should make hay while the sun shines, said McBride. Now is the time, with unemployment low and wages rising, to right-size the equation by paying off high-cost credit card debt and adding to emergency savings. Sadly, it looks like we're collectively moving in the wrong direction. Well, admittedly, most people won't have that 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses that most of us have heard about that we should have saved up, waiting to be added to savings. You can start by contributing small amounts now. Then, once that credit card debt is gone for good, you can apply that savings from payments to build your emergency savings even more quickly. Check out, debt calculators like those provided at undebt.it to help get you started, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. And certainly if you need help getting going with budgeting, again, would like to recommend checking out the software program You Need a Budget. They currently have a 34-day trial going as well. And what we really like about them is their methodology focuses around budgeting dollars you have now versus what you think you might have. And in doing so, being able to give every dollar a job and roll with the punches. And even better is YNAB also syncs with the program Undebt.it now for even better tracking of getting out of debt. So it's a great article and survey, so definitely make sure that you check that out. The recommendation is definitely always to make sure you have some sort of emergency savings saved up, so that way after that's there ready for use, you can really start hammering down on paying down that debt. And so that way, should an emergency crop up, you should hopefully be less likely to use your credit cards. So with that, I'd like to take a break to thank today's sponsor. And before we go today, just wanted to make sure that you're all aware out there that our show as well, combined with the website, do have a Facebook page, Twitter and Instagram. So make sure you check those out. I'll include links to those in the show notes as well. Sometimes I don't always get a chance to put up a blog post right away, and in the advent of social media, it can be a lot easier to just put things onto Twitter or Facebook. So a lot of times, in order to help you all out there save money and time, it's a lot easier to put any codes, deals, or savings that might be going on or of interest to you, especially ones that might even be time sensitive. So would really like to invite everyone to check out our social media, because it can even include things like codes, like the recent eHarmony article that we shared in honor of Valentine's Day, that our eHarmony had been offering a time-limited discount of 15% off all memberships. So make sure to check that out, and so that you never miss a deal. And also, the Script Note Show is available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, so would invite you to check us out on there. Just make sure to hit subscribe. And certainly if you're listening in on Apple Podcasts, for sure, if you could so kindly leave us a 5-star review. Hopefully the content's been of that value to you. We really appreciate it, and it's the only way to help us get discovered even more so within the podcast world. So certainly appreciate your continued support. It seems like our listenership continues to grow, and would invite you to share the podcast with anyone who you think might be of interest, or might be interested in it, I should say. We really appreciate our continued listenership with all of you out there. And certainly if there's anything else you would ever like to hear on the show, definitely feel free to send us an email or a voice message if you're listening in on the Anchor app. And with that, hope everyone has a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you again soon. See ya.